Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at game number 13 in our 20 from the Sega CD series. This game was originally a release on computers and the Sega Genesis and I think maybe the Super Nintendo, and it is a hilarious game. This is an advanced version for the Sega CD, and it is called Earthworm Jim Special Edition. And this was created by Shiny Entertainment and Interplay in 1995. And the original game was created, I think, in like 1994. And there's this kind of funny beginning here. Unfortunately, it's there's like pixelation problems or something. That's the emulator. But you play Earthworm Jim, and he is an anthropomorphic worm who found a futuristic spacesuit, and he's able to do all these human-like or non-human-like things. Very, very funny game with funny animation. But there's numerous things that this improves over the original game. The animation of the characters is a lot smoother, and the levels are a lot bigger. You can do a lot more exploration in them. And you can select easy, normal, or hard difficulties. There is also a password system, so you can pick up where you pick up on the stage that you left off of, and you can change the control pad settings. There is also an extra level added in this game that we will get to later. We will not do a playthrough, there's no way I will have time to do that, but we will see at least snippets of each of the stages, and we start in a stage called New Junk City, and it is a junkyard. And Earthworm Jim has the ability to use his own body as a whip. And you have a plasma rifle with a finite amount of bullets, and you can get more. And one of the first things you need to do is launch a cow in the air. You see at the bottom left, and here he can bounce on tires. Ouch. Various things can hurt you, and you have a life percentage meter at the top left. When you're on these there's a lot of things that you can whip, hooks and whatnot, that will swing you across places. And here is a path to a kind of hidden area, or an alternate path that you can take to the end of this stage. Yeah, those dogs are annoying. Some of them will give you energy back. And we jump into a toilet to go to this alternate area here. Yeah, those are plasma bullet refills. There is a hook that you can whip your body onto and swing across. And we go into another toilet to go to excuse me, another alternate path. This this game was, and in this part, you are just the worm trying to get back to your body. And you hear Earthworm Jim say, "I'm nude." The sense of humor in this game is so awesome. The sliding down of the speed of sliding down these paths here is kind of annoying. You have to really carefully control your descent sometimes, or you'll land on spikes. And sometimes you'll reach a little sign that says "Continue." Here you can either go a hard path or an easier path. And after touching the sign that says "Continue," when you die, when you lose a life, you'll pick up right there. And I jumped right back into my spacesuit, so I'm anthropomorphic again. And here is a boss coming up soon. There is another boss in the alternate path that we'll look at in a moment. And here you have to whip this crate and make it land on the spring and then hit that guy so he barfs up fish. Gross. And eventually that magnet will drop what was it, a tuba or something? And it'll try to drop it right on you. And you need to hit that guy enough times to destroy him. I got hit. Oh well. Whoops. I was never great at Earthworm Jim. The original had some hard parts that kind of frustrated me. But with the stages being a lot bigger in this game, it's extra frustrating to me. It's still a great game. It's still definitely worth picking up if you're collecting games for your Sega CD. And Jim can ride this kind of a vacuum cleaner looking thing. And there will be numerous times where you play this stage called Andy Asteroids, and it is named after a guy that worked on the game. But first we want to look at the alternate path. If you just kept going straight instead of swung from that moose head to the left, then you can go in this direction. Now, while you're descending from like a jump or a fall, you can repeatedly hit, I think it was the C button, to whip your head like a helicopter and descend slower. Those crows can be kind of annoying. Oftentimes, if you've got airborne enemies, it's better to use your body whip instead of your plasma rifle. It seems like maybe it causes more damage. And here's the alternate boss. And you gotta watch out because he'll knock things down onto you. But you'll still need to shoot him multiple times, and eventually he'll start coming at you, and you'll need to jump over him. Falling into an abyss is going to be a common problem on some stages, and that'll, of course, instantly kill you. Some ledges look like they might be too high up to reach, but you'll still be able to jump and grab the edge of them and pull yourself up. Yeah, when your bullets run down to 0, then they'll slowly go back up. I mean, very slowly. But look out for more plasma refill bullets. And yeah, you still have to play as
I'm a rocket man.
As a nude or a suitless Earthworm Jim. And here is Andy Asteroids, and you have to beat... You don't have to beat Psy-Crow in a race. Whoops. Those bubbles, if you collect 50 of them, you get an extra continue. Those boulders will slow you down in this race, and there will be these... damn it. You can bump Psy-Crow, and there will be shields that you can pick up, and by pressing, I think it was the B button, you can protect yourself from the boulders or the asteroids. And there will be these rocket something or others that you can touch, and you can fly forward and not get hurt for a little while. Definitely make use of those. But yeah, if you beat if you beat Psy-Crow in the race, that's the end of the stage. You whip your body around like a lasso. This game is so funny. But if you don't beat Psy-Crow, then you have to fight him one-on-one a little bit later, and it's not a super hard battle. We'll look at that later. And here's the what the heck stage, but we'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, here's me losing to Psy-Crow, I think. Funny music, just everything about this game. The humor's so wonderful. Whoops. Yeah, the voice acting is hilarious in this game. The things that Earthworm Jim says. Whoops.
This doesn't make me a loser, does it?
So you lose, and you have to fight Psy-Crow. And what you need to do is whip him as he flies around, and then shoot him. I think that's right. So let's look at that happening.
Psy-Crow, come here!
Yeah, you shoot him, and then you gotta whip him. And if you do it enough times, then you've beaten him, and he flies off.
Man, Psy-Crow, you got stumped.
But the original Earthworm Jim spawned a cartoon, and I've only seen a little bit. It was funny. Had Dan Castellaneta, or whatever his name is, who voiced Homer Simpson. He voices Earthworm Jim. And now we're going to play What the Heck, or at least part of it, or parts of it. And this takes place in Hell, and it has the Night on Bald Mountain classical score. I think that's what it was called. But I'm in big trouble here. My energy's almost zilch. Whoops. That's what it looks like to die. But you have to fight these hellhounds. The thing that I hate most about this stage is these gems that you have to run on. You have to look at which way they're rotating when you're not on them, and move in the opposite direction to try to walk on them. But you can easily slip off them. It's very, very frustrating. Whoops. There are one-up icons you can pick up. Sometimes there will be these wheels that you need to whip to open a gate and get through. Sometimes there will be some sort of IRS agent or tax collector or something that you have to fight. There's more jewels. And sometimes running on them will transport you to another area of What the Heck. And heck is, of course, another word for hell, which this resembles. I like the screaming victims in the background. And we'll teleport to another area of What the Heck. But the main boss of What the Heck is a creature known as Evil the Cat. And we'll come across him in just a little bit. and he throws up a bomb. This is very frustrating. You need to find a place that those falling spikes won't reach you. And a whole bunch of them continue to fall down. Yeah, I've never been terribly good at Earthworm Jim, and definitely not this special edition. I think I remember seeing this in the stores. I didn't own this. I had a Sega CD, but I didn't have this game.
Oh yeah.
And now the gems simply just rise upwards, but you have to watch out for those flames. At some point in the gameplay, I used an invincibility cheat, and there's a lot of cheats for this game that we'll look at later. Those hellhounds, or whatever they are, they're much better to use the whip on than the plasma gun, and that's the same for a lot of enemies. It's hard for me to be able to run on these without falling off.
I'm nude.
And now we're nude again, and we have to get to our suit. Whoops. And there's Evil the Cat shooting at me. You have to watch out for those bullets. You don't want to jump because you'll get nailed, but you do want to jump over the flames. And enough flames will hit that pedestal that he's standing on in order to collapse it, and then you'll have to fight him in a second battle. And he licks himself like a cat. Damn it. Yeah, I'm not looking so good. We'll skip forward to me getting in the suit and then facing him in this second battle. And you have to shoot him as he approaches you before he can scratch you like that. And then after he attacks you, then flames come after you. You have to jump over those, and once you've shot him 9 times, you've beaten the stage. And like I said before, you'll have to face a lot of anti-asteroids sequences, but not this time. This is the new level. This is called Big Bruty, and this is also named after somebody who worked on Earthworm Jim. His last name is Bruty. And there are these really annoying bees throughout the stage. They're better taken of with the whip than the gun, but they are hard to hit. They fly around. But boy, they do not want to leave you alone. But they are not the only danger. The other major danger is the titular character of this stage, Big Bruty. There will be, I didn't mention this yet, but there will be missiles that you can also collect. I think there was a hook there. Some of the edges, the ledges in this stage is you can't climb up, which is annoying. But the missiles are homing missiles, and I think that is new. Or that is another thing that's unique to this game over the original. There is Big Bruty himself, and he is some big blind creature that needs to get a good whiff of you, and then will give chase, and sometimes you will need him to chase you. And if he catches you, he will eat you, and you'll lose a life. But what you need to do is find a place that you can get away from him, or hang from, and avoid getting eaten. And he'll reappear in that same spot after a short fashion. And he can sometimes spring you upwards to higher ledges, or sometimes he might smash through a wall for you. Like here. And he'll turn into smaller Bruties. Ouch! The bee got me. And you'll need to shoot or whip his smaller versions that appear. There's those homing missiles. Yeah, the homing missiles don't appear very often. but they can be very, very useful. And here's another big Bruty. Sometimes you just need to lead him out of the area, and if you need him again and you've already got him out of there, another one will appear shortly afterwards. So now we've beaten the big Bruty stage. It's a real pain in the ass to a lot of gamers that have played this game. And we do another anti-asteroid stage. I'm a rocket man. And sometimes he says something like, look, there's meatballs. But we've already seen the anti-asteroid stages, so we're just going to skip them from now on. And now we have a very long, kind of annoying stage called Down the Tubes. And you go through this underwater tube system, and you got to watch out for these big cats. If they catch you, they punch you backwards. So you got to hang from these little areas here. Ah, crap! We'll scoot forward. Sometimes there will be areas in between the tubes where you can jump up to higher ledges or whip the hooks to swing across. Yeah, you can't swing through the cats. Sometimes there will be these hamsters that you can release. And they will be able to eat enemies for you, which is kind of nice. And you got to press the, I think, the fire button to make them chomp the enemies. We'll look at that in a little bit. Sometimes there will be areas. There he is. Jump on his back. Crunch. There will be these starfish enemies that otherwise you could not defeat. So you need to use the hamster to make him eat them. And sorry for the pixel problems. I can't fix that. That's the emulator's fault. But there will be times when you board you board this submarine vessel, and whoops, you can slam into things and break your vessel and kill yourself when it explodes. But you also have a timer, and you don't want to run out of time while you're underwater, or you will lose a life. And that's me losing a life underwater. But there will be these little things that you need to hook up to very carefully, and they will restore your time to 30 seconds. There will be another underwater tube stage following this, and you will get more time when you connect to those things. But the stages are much bigger. Or the stage is much bigger. And now we've beaten down the tubes, and we will go to what is called Tube Race. Note that you see little icons like a cow, plasma rifle, all sorts of other things. Those are things that you want to enter in your password when you opt to put in a password to pick up where you left off. And now here is me getting time restored to 99 seconds. You will need all of them. This stage is so huge, there's so much to explore, and you don't want to dawdle. And note that I'm turning my thrusters, so when you press the, I think the fire button, you will move in the direction of the thrusters. Yeah. Bumping into the walls, they will damage your vessel. Yeah, these guys they go down pretty quickly when you shoot them. And this is the final. This is not even a boss. Do whatever you want to damage that fishbowl, and that will end the stage. You can whip it, you can just run into it, whatever. Jump on it. then you'll have beaten the stage. And we do another anti-asteroids, but we're not going to watch the whole thing, because that would take too long.
I'm a rocket man.
And the next actual stage is called Snot a Problem, and it has 3 parts to it. And it is Jim bungee jumping. And you gotta bump into this snot creature and knock him into the wall to damage his bungee. And sometimes he'll spin in place, and you don't want to hit him when he does that, because that can damage you. I put on, I think, invincibility by this point. And yeah, I'll show you the invincibility code later on. That creature that is in the river, and there I've beaten the first stage. There are 3 parts to this. That creature in the river, if you hang right above it for too long, he will bite you in half and kill you immediately. So don't let that happen. Oh, like that. So yeah, just bump this guy into the wall as much as you can. Again, again, sorry for the pixelization problem or color problem. Sometimes with certain colors, this emulator has a problem with them, and they kind of bleed. This game is just a riot. Earthworm Jim, I believe, was the brainchild of Doug TenNapel, and in a couple of the endings, and you can get a different ending in easy, normal, or difficult stages. He has narration in a couple of those endings. This stage is simply called Level 5, and it takes place in kind of a mad scientist lab. Now that little lever thing you have to whip so that you can access this escalator. Otherwise you can't go up it. Some creatures will spawn maggots, and you'll have to shoot all those. And then there's an area where you're in this iron ball, and you'll have to shoot these things that come at you from different angles. And I can't remember which direction they come from, so I kept getting nailed. I just love the dialogue from Earthworm Jim. Yeah, if you run out of lives and you need to spend to continue, I think you're granted like 1 to start with or something, but there will be more that you can collect during the game. And some of these areas where things come out of repeatedly, you can whip them or shoot them enough so that they stop coming out of there. And there's another teleportation chamber. And I move to this area, and there's conveyor belts that I gotta walk on. Yeah, you'll run out of bullets quite a bit in this game. There'll be so many enemies that you really need to shoot a lot. And this part I like. There will be this fan blade where Earthworm Jim's head will get taken off, and his body will be waiting for him below. Such a silly game. Yeah, I really liked it, especially the Sega Genesis one that I had. Got a lot of fun out of that one. There's no scoring system, which kind of sucks. I like to have a scoring system in my games. And there's another teleportation chamber. Hope you enjoy your upcoming weekend. Hope you enjoy the following one for Mother's Day. I'm gonna take my mother to a really expensive steak restaurant. You gotta watch out in this area so that you don't get fried. And here's a boss character, and he is a chicken in a robot suit, and you need to whip objects down on him, which I didn't do very well there. And there, we've skipped ahead and beaten him. But you do have to fight him one more time, and this is kind of like the bungee sequence, and you need to shoot him enough, and he leaves a bomb, so don't stick around in that area long. Move away, but just keep shooting him, and watch out for the walls, because they've got spikes on them. There's no creature below. You just keep falling. I mean, no creature to bite you in half, like in It's Not a Problem. But yeah, this groovy scene shows the icons that you need to input for a password to that level. And we're going to skip the anti-asteroids and go to For Pete's Sake. It is a clever stage, but it is really difficult in parts. You have a puppy named Peter Puppy, and you have to keep him out of danger. He can't die, but if he gets in trouble, or if he gets hurt, or falls into the abyss, he gets mad and takes it out on you. He becomes a super roided out dog. So don't let that happen. Kill the enemies that are trying to hurt him. Whip him to make him jump up in the air. That won't make him mad and hurt you. So whip him when you need to make him jump up in the air over abysses or whatnot. Sometimes there will be asteroids falling on the planet, and you need to safely escort him home. If he does hurt you, he will cause damage and send you backwards. And now here you can kind of take a breather and let the hook carry him around, and he won't get hurt. Ah! Crap. Yeah. That stupid UFO can dizzy you for a while. And that was him getting hurt. And taking it out on me. And when you get far enough, then you will end the stage. You know, guiding him to his doghouse at the end. And now we're moving on to the next stage. And it's another anti-asteroid, so we're going to skip that. Next stage is intestinal distress. And it takes place in a giant body. Gross. There's intestines. There's like digested food. You can fly up certain parts of the intestine. It's such a gross stage. Somebody ate flying fish. And sometimes there's like boulders of food rolling at you that you'll have to watch out for. The expressions that he makes are really funny. Ow, damn. Yippee. There was a sequel to Earthworm Jim called Earthworm Jim 2, and it was a lot of fun as well. A lot more of the same. A lot more of the goofy humor. This guy is really frickin' annoying. He tries to jump right on you. And you have to kind of keep jumping left and right to get him to not be right on top of you. And then shoot him. Turn around and shoot him, and he takes a lot of bullets to destroy. And finally you'll defeat him. And you go to yet another anti-asteroids stage, I believe. So yeah, we're going to skip that. And again, I believe that was named after Andy Astor, who worked on the game. And the final stage is called Buttville. And it's called that because the final boss is called Queen Slug-For-A-Butt. This part is hard. You need to You need to whip your head as you go through these tight areas lined with spikes. Thorn, thorn, sharp. I would have been dead by now. I'm really not good at trying to avoid those spikes. Crap. But I've got invincibility on, so who cares? But then you get teleported once you reach the bottom to another part of Buttville. And there will be these slippery ledges that you'll need to jump up on. And some bee nests. Ouch, ouch, ouch. And here is a series of spikes. Or spikes. Hooks. And you'll need to whip your head on, or your body on. And it takes a while to get used to. Point up and towards the hook as you swing off of one, and you'll be able to reach the one higher than it. And now here are owls, and if you get close to the owls, they can bite you and instantly kill you. Yep, like that. And they will sometimes be above very slippery ledges that you will fall off. You can kill those owls. Make sure you do so if you can. Yeah, if you stand on those ledges for just a second, you'll slip off of them. And eventually you will reach this mini-boss, and you will need to shoot it as you go by these, as you ride these moving platforms. And the platforms will try to push you into a spiked wall. And sometimes the platforms will be spikes, so you don't want to jump on those. And we are almost to the final boss, Queen Slug-For-A-Butt. Yeah, notice that I've skipped a lot of parts of these levels. They're a lot bigger than what you've seen in this video. And eventually you will face Queen Slug-For-A-Butt, and you need to ride this platform that rotates around her. Keep shooting at her as you ride around her, and you can aim your gun in all sorts of directions as you rotate around her. And eventually, she explodes in kind of a gross sequence. Disgusting. Her internal organs are on display. And this was the normal difficulty setting of Earthworm Jim, and we'll see the ending here. And this was the same ending we saw in the original Earthworm Jim, although there might have been some extra animation. And Princess What's-Her-Name is standing there on a ledge, and Earthworm Jim is crazy about her. He does some very Tex Avery-like goofy reactions. And she prompts him to come up and give her a kiss, but the launched cow falls on her. That's superb animation there. Just really well done. This is a funny game. Yeah, this special edition version of Earthworm Jim came out in 1995. And you'll see the credits go by. And eventually that ledge will break, and both Princess What's-Her-Name and the cow will fall into the lava, or whatever that is. And note that her crown is sitting there. Earthworm Jim will come by and pluck it after they fall in. Just a hilarious game. Yeah, if you've never seen the cartoon, check it out. It's got some funny parts to it. There was a character that I didn't mention that appeared in the level 5, the Mad Scientist Lab, and his name is Professor Monkey for a Head, I think. The game is just such a hoot. And they even acknowledged Tex Avery as an inspiration there in the credits. Whoops. And Earthworm Jim comes back and absconds with the crown. Probably to sell it. That is Earthworm Jim Special Edition. And you'll get taken back to the title screen, or the main screen. And we are going to look at the other endings, easy and hard.
What a worm. Playing on practice, eh? Well, you'd better step up the difficulty setting if you want to see the real ending. In the meantime, though, what are worms? Adult animals that have soft, elongated, often tube-like bodies and that lack backbones are commonly called Dave Perry. Worms are so different.
Dave Perry also worked on the game.
Not classify them together in a single group.
This is
different tribes, like
Doug
the tribe
Tinapple,
of this worm and
I
the
think,
tribe of that worm.
Just going off on a tangent about
the name worm
what are worms.
To other animals, like
very
dogs,
silly.
Cats, ferrets.
And he's not really reading off of this prompter.
Thanks. Brian Fargo, Bucky Tran, Michael Kelch, Tex Avery, and the shiny spouses. Let's hear it. Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice, Superman, Batman, and Jan and Zena, the Wonder Twins.
Totally going off on a tangent.
The end. We're not kidding. Really? Hey, we just want you guys to know that we love you. I mean, love, baby. And I'm talking love. We love you.
And now we'll see the hard ending. And he showers you with praise.
You're the best! Boy, you've really whipped this game. I mean, you can put it back on the shelf. You've mastered it. I mean, on difficult. That's incredible. I couldn't even do that. I'm telling you, you know, you can just put the joystick down now and rest assured that you are the best. I mean, you're probably the only one who's even done this.
Yeah, I'm not going to... I didn't show
right
all
now.
of the
Heard this, me, talking right now. You!
easy ending.
You are someone special to us. We care about you. I mean, if you ever feel bad about yourself, think about this day and what you're hearing right now. You are the best. And if you fail at anything, if you come in last at the track meet, you just sit there and raise your head up and say, Shiny said, I was the best. And dang it, I'm the best. I'm in last place, but I'm the best. If you wake up someday and you're in prison, serving a life sentence, you just look up and say, I'm the best. When you're down, when you're lonely,
silly
when
guys.
all your friends have turned their backs on you because you're such a jerk, you just sit there and say to yourself, I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best.
And then you get to see that same ending from normal. And here are some tricks. You have to press pause to start them. To refill your energy, A and C, then B, B, C, 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 A, and B, and then unpause. And you can get more homing missiles by pressing right and A, B, A, C, B, A, and unpause. Level skip, B, B, A, C, A and B, A and B, A and B, A and B, unpause. Very, very, very useful. But that's the ultimate cheat. Invincibility. A and B, C, A, right, right, left, right, unpause. Earthworm Jim will usually say cheater when you put in a code. Afro Jim, give him an afro. B, A, B, C, unpause.
Cheater.
And there it is. Another one, it's Donkey Worm Kong, down and C, B, A, 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 B, C, unpause.
Hater.
He's got Donkey Kong's head. Groucho Marx, A, 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 B, C, unpause. He has the Groucho Marx glasses and mustache.
Hater.
If he'll lollygag, then he'll do a jump rope. Antenna, BCA, AAA, BC, unpause.
Hater.
Ronald McJim, CAAAABC, unpause, and he'll have Ronald McDonald hair.
Hater.
Watch the ending. ANC, 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 AB, CB, A, unpause. I'll go right to the end.
Hater.
And you'll see the ending.
Whee-doggie.
But that was Earthworm Jim Special Edition, released by Shiny Entertainment and Interplay in 1995 for the Sega CD. Well, this is Crazy Climber 80s, and thanks for watching. That was game number 13, and I hope you join me soon for game number 12. Y'all have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.